classification. Now we're going to change again next year. So we go back to Class AA.
Yeah.
And, of course, Mayfield stays in 2A. I believe from our district, Fort Campbell is the only team that is dropping down to 2A besides us.
Yeah.
And we'll be in with Murray, Mayfield, Ballard, and, of course, Fort Campbell and Caldwell County. So we'll still have a 5-team district. And, once you kind of get used to one, here it changes again. So that's going to – and I think the games move next year, correct? It won't be the final game of the season like it's been the last few years.
Trigg, since they'll stay 3A, we'll move Trigg to the last game. So we'll play Trigg in the last game.
I can't remember the geographics of all of it, but Clayton, when I went to the ball game last week, was talking about next year. And, boy, it's kind of weird the way they're doing that. I mean, Christian County's playing in Bowling Green's district, but then again, there's teams on the other side over there that are playing away from. I mean, I don't know. He was telling me it's weird.
Well, they took Breckenridge County, and they're going to go to Graves County. Or Loveless is closer to Graves than Brett County, but Loveless is going to go to South Warren and Bowling Green.
That's over a 3.5, 4-hour trip for Breckenridge.
And one
County.
of them, Craig's, he had to go somewhere pretty far too. I can't remember where it was.
Well, Tim lived in Brett County, and also it cost us a Graves County game, so that's why we still got an open date. Graves had to drop us and put Breck in there, and so we lost that game with them next year. So we said
you're looking for a second date then.
Yeah, we're looking for a 10th game for next year.
So you've got nine games lined up right now, and then looking for your 10th. And of course, I'm on that listserv as well, and I see coming across, on emails, there's several teams that post on there that has open dates, and of course, if they don't correspond to yours, it's not very much help there. And a lot of schools have to go out of state now and try to get opponents to fill those open dates. I remember one year, back, I think it was around 9/11, back in 2001, we had to pick up West Carroll, Tennessee. And that was a long way off. And I believe Gary Goodacre is the one that saw it, that called me right before. We had somebody drop us right before the season started. And Gary called and said, this team down here in West Carroll, of course, I had to look it up to see where it was located. But it's on its way. It's down below Murray in West Tennessee. And, we wound up picking them up, and we had a little 2-year rivalry there. We're going to take a short break here, and we'll be right back. We've got a guest calling in. You're listening to the DT and Gator Show on the Wave.
By the time that we got up there, his room was filled with smoke.
The wind had blown and drifted the snow up against the side of my house, blocking the exhaust from my furnace.
I heard the smoke alarm going off in my friend's apartment.
Without the kid's smoke alarm, my son would not be here today.
And had it not been for that carbon monoxide detector, they would come to school and not have their teacher there.
I grabbed my fire extinguisher and put out the fire.
Kidda makes technology that saves lives.
Get these essential products at the Home Depot.
And now, an ad from Dad.
All right, save money on car insurance when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Can I take these off? All right. What is this? This looks good. Wow, that's well made. Where did you get this? I'm talking to you with the hair. Yeah, where did you get this? It's good stuff. That's solid. That's not veneer. That's solid stuff.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
It's here now. The all-new 2019 Silverado from Chevrolet with the steely-eyed front end that will surely grab your attention. Space, comfort, and convenience all found in its accommodating interior with built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi makes communicating simple. The new Silverado is mostly steel, unlike Ford, who went with aluminum for better fuel mileage. The Silverado gets you 22 mpg on highway and a stronger truck. The all-new Chevrolet Silverado will still be the most dependable, longest-lasting truck you will ever own. Tri-Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91, Princeton.
Start saving now for 2019 with a Fredonia Valley Bank Christmas Club account. It's easy to save with auto deduction each week from your account or receive a coupon book for weekly payments. Multiple accounts may be opened, but not to exceed $5,000 per year. Choose your convenient payment method today. You may find it handy having extra cash for the holidays, or an easy way to save or pay end-of-year expenses. Interest will be added to your Christmas club as long as all 50 payments are made before the ending due date next year. Fredonia Valley Bank, a real community bank at 602 Cassidy in Fredonia or 226 Commerce Street in Eddyville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Introducing the all-new 1500 Ram Crew Cab with groundbreaking exterior styling, uncompromising luxury, and safety in numbers. The new Ram has available active level 4-corner air suspension for the best ride in the truck market. Best-in-class rear legroom, in-floor storage, and the industry-exclusive Ram Box, the pickup bed with built-in toolboxes. When you push the start button and you hear that 5.7 Hemi come to life, you'll know then which truck you'll buy. The all-new Ram. See it now at Trice Hughes in Princeton, your Chrysler Dodge Ram dealer.
What does your morning sound like?
Morning, Al.
Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please? Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
These showers should move out of the forecast by about 1 o'clock this afternoon, with a high today near 53. There's a 30% chance of showers overnight, with overnight lows around 44. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy, high near 58. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low around 54. The forecast again today is calling for showers until about 1 o'clock and a high near 53.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors.
What does your morning sound like?
Itsy bitsy spider, rock-a-bye baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Okay, back here with DT and Gator at WPKY. We've been joined by Coach Joe Morris on the phone, the head coach of the Mayfield Cardinals. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Hey, Pat, thanks for having me.
All right. We've had a few technical difficulties here, and we've got a new young lady that's kind of like she was late, wasn't she? and I believe they changed the phone number on us. So, from the one, I sent you the wrong number. I apologize on that, okay?
That's okay. That's okay.
First of all, Joe, we want to congratulate you on a very successful season thus far. 9-0 record, perfect stint, heading into your final regular season game against the Caldwell County Tigers. And I know it's one that both teams looking forward to tonight, heading into the playoffs. And, of course, it doesn't have any playoff implications whatsoever, but still, it's kind of a measuring stick that you use for your upcoming playoff games. And we know you have an outstanding team over there. And, of course, I was by to see you last week, and you told me that this might be one of your most talented offensive teams that you've had since you've been there.
We are talented. There's no question about it. With our receivers, and of course, our quarterback has had a great year, and then we got a great running back who just was elected to play in the All-Star game here, and that's not an easy thing to do. But we got a lot of great players. There's no question about it. And hey, I'll be the first one to tell you, great players make great coaches.
Oh yeah.
We got some good players, and hey, tonight we're gonna face some good players. The Riley boys and Jaggers and all those guys out there. They've got a lot of great players, great receivers as well. So it should be a great matchup.
Well, we think that we've got a very potent offense as well, and one of the things that I was talking, David's here with us as well. Coach Barnes is here, so we were talking prior to the show that one of the things that kind of stuck out when I was looking at your schedule this season, it's probably not Mayfield typical like, but in 6 of the 9 wins that you've had this year, you've given up 21 points or more. but that can also be pretty deceiving based upon when you score you're averaging 48 to 50 points a game, and I'm sure a lot of those points came against some of your reserves.
Well, a few of them have, that's for sure, and we've given up we've given up 2 kickoff returns, which we don't like, but and then our JV teams give up a couple, and and here's the thing about it is offensively this year we've scored pretty fast, and the other team gets the ball a lot, so which is a good thing. You want to put points on the board, and the bottom line is you don't care what the score is when it's over. You just want to have more points than your opponent, and we've done that. I don't think even our coaches expected to be 9-0 at this point. We played a very good schedule, and we replaced 4 offensive linemen off last year's team. 3 of them were 3-year starters for us, and we were a little worried about that offensive line going in here, but those guys have done a good job for us and protected our quarterback, and we're playing good football, and hey, we got a great group of kids. That's what makes it great. When you look forward to walking out on that practice field and having, because your kids are out there, they're working, they want to be the best they can be. They don't always do the right thing, but for the most part, most of those kids want to be the best that they can be, and that's a lot of fun.
Well, Joe, I know that you got a really good quarterback, and he's improved tremendously. Talk a little bit about him and his plays thus far.
Well, of course, Jaden started last year for us, and we split time with him and Connor Guthrie last year. Jaden probably got the majority of the reps. He probably got about 60 to 65. Well, this year he's probably got about 85% of the reps, and he's worked very hard in the off season in the weight room, throwing the football. He wants to be a great player, and I think he's, with his numbers and what he's done, he's getting the ball to, we feel like we have really good receivers this year, and, we're getting the ball to those guys and getting it to them on time. He's throwing in rhythm, and, his arm, he's got really good arm strength, and, he understands our offense. So, Jaden has come, leaps and bounds, over a year ago, and, he's the one that, really, made this offense go. And, anytime you run an offense, a spread offense where you're going to throw the ball, you got to have a pretty good quarterback to be really good. And Jaden's had a great year for us, and we just hope it can continue.
Hey, Joe, can you hear me? This is DT.
Yeah, hey, DT.
Hey, buddy. Well, I didn't know. I'm not important as Pat. He's got the earphones, and I've got to listen to a speaker over here. But I was just going to say, of all the quarterbacks you've had in a while, of course, I always like to watch your all's team and this and that and the other, and especially really a lot of times all we get are just the replays on Channel 6 News. But this kid here, he looks to me like he's tall enough. I believe he's got the potential to maybe go somewhere if he wants to. I really do. He looks good, and the other part of that is like you said, he's a worker. And I'll be honest also, I love a left-handed quarterback. I always have. Ever since the snake came around, I always liked the left-handed quarterback.
Just because you look like the snake
but I
back
couldn't
in the
throw
day.
it either side like you do these guys. But I believe the kid's really got potential.
I don't care if they're left-hand or right-hand, they get the ball where it needs to be.
Well, I knew you would. You're a lineman.
That's right, exactly. But no, we think he does. I mean, we think he's got an opportunity to, go and play at the next level. He's got another year, high school here, and as being just a junior. But he's got a huge arm. He's making great decisions. That's his arm strength is is probably the best that we've had in a long time. Or ever since I've been coaches. But, he can throw the ball down the field, and he can throw it a long way. He puts it. But the great thing is he knows when to, he has to, to drill it in there. He's got good touch on the ball, and like I say, he's getting the ball out on time, and that's the key in our offense or any offense is getting the ball out on time, and he anticipates when guys are going to be open, and he's just done a great job for us, and I think he's only going to get better and better.
Right, he is, and like you said, he has very good accuracy. A lot of his passes, those boys don't break stride, and you got some kids, you know, that can run. And as an old-time quarterback, I know it's hard to pick out the ones that you know what kind of speed they got, and you got to hit them right on the money. And that young man does it. He does a good job. But to get away from him, he's not your only player. I know, Will. But the rest of them have done a great job for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, we really have. I mean, we got a lot of great. I mean, we have a lot of great players, and any coach will tell you got to have the players to win a lot of games and to win 9 games that we've done this year. Don't get me wrong, I've got a great coaching staff that does our kids work hard for, and they understand the game, and I can't tell you the hours that they put in, and getting us prepared to play each and every Friday night. And, when you got good players and you got a good coaching staff, and good things are going to happen, and that's why we've been successful over the past few years. That's for sure. Go ahead.
Joe, one thing, of course, when we always think about Mayfield, we always think about offensive and defensive line play. Back in the day, of course, they used to just be so physical up front. And I know you said coming into the season, one of your major concerns was the development of your offensive line. How do you feel like that they've progressed thus far?
Well, I think they've progressed more than we expected, and earlier than we expected. Coming into the year, like I said, we had 4 new guys in there. None of them had seen any varsity experience. I mean, no varsity experience. The only one we had returning is Barrett Henley, our left tackle. Who's he's had several offers. From small schools in Murray State, and I think SIU, and a few schools like that. But he's our left tackle, and he's the only guy that had any experience coming back. But these guys have come along, and Coach Todd Hatchell has just done a fabulous job with those guys, and he gets they know who to block, and they work hard. And does it always work out? No. Sometimes that guy just beats you, and that's just part of it. But it's not because of lack of effort and not knowing what to do. And so. Like I say, but those guys have come a long way, and we've got a couple of our defensive linemen, led up there by Brady Smith. Brady's been a 3-year starter there at defensive end, and people have trouble blocking that cat. Now he gets off the ball, rushes the passer well. I hope I know you guys don't, but I hope he has about 4 or 5 sacks tonight. But he's a great player for us and the leader of our defense, and that defensive line has come a long way. We're rotating some guys in there. We got Ethan Couch, who played in there last year. Katorius Cherries plays the other defensive end for us, and those guys about to play well tonight. That's for sure. And that's a group that's another group that's really gotten better as the years has gone on.
Well, Joe, we've had some great games with y'all the last several years, and I was looking at the all-time record between Caldwell County and Mayfield, and I believe it's 46-9. But three of our 9 wins came in the last 10 years. And, I can remember back in, I believe it was 2010, the shootout we had here, 48-41. Are you looking at something similar to that tonight? Because we've got some pretty good offensive, but we're averaging probably 35 or more points a game, and
we'll take 48-41 as long as we're the 48. The last time it was 48, of course, they had the Cinderlar kid, the Riley kid back there at running back, and who was DK. I can't remember all of them.
Jalen Boyd, yeah.
Jalen Boyd, yeah. Jalen Boyd played that running back there. That's right. But, those guys were. That was a great game up there at Caldwell County, and Caldwell's done. I mean, the great thing about Caldwell County, it's a great football community. It's a lot like Mayfield. Their fans support them. Hopefully this weather's going to be out of here today about 12 or 1 o'clock, and it's going to dry up, and we're going to have a great night for football, and we hope. I know we're going to have a great crowd out there, and I'm sure Caldwell County will. That they always bring a lot of people here, and. Let's finish. Hopefully we have a great game. Both teams end up injury-free and head on to the playoffs. And bottom line is, after tonight, hey, I'm pulling for Caldwell County to finish their season in Lexington in the 3A state championship game, and we're playing in the 2A state championship game. So we're pulling for those guys, all year except for this week, and I'm sure they're the same way about us.
Well, Joe, I know we're probably going to get a lot of people here in the community that slap me and Gator for bragging on you all the time because they don't want to hear it. But it's hard that people don't realize, and for me from playing and coaching all those years, how hard it is to keep winning when you're winning. It's not too bad if you have one or two good years, but when you have to keep doing what you all are doing, y'all are pretty special. I'm gonna tell you.
I told him last week, D, that he was the Nick Saban of high school football. He's boring as heck because he just keeps winning.
I know, and they pay him like that at Mayfield too.
Yeah, you make what Coach Saban makes, don't you, Joe?
I make about what Coach Saban makes in a day. Just in one day for him.
Oh, an hourly wage, maybe.
Yeah. One more question, Joe, and we're going to let you go. Of course, always when I come by, I always want to see how your dad's doing, and of course, some of your old former coaches that Bob Counts and Coach Leahy and all those guys. I know that you probably still get a lot of input from them around there, don't you?
Hey, let me tell you something. If anybody in Caldwell County ever wants to go learn about football, basketball, politics, anything, all you got to do is go to Wilma's for about 8 to 10. The whole bunch of old coaches and old guys, old football fans, they go up there, and I'm telling you, they know more about coaching than we do. They know more about politics than anybody else. So you can learn a lot down there at Wilma's, down there at the coffee shop every morning, Monday through Friday. But they're doing well, and they're very supportive of us, that's for sure.
Hey, can he pick us a Breeders' Cup winner?
Oh, man.
I know he still does the horses, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes to go over and play the horses there at Paducah. I'm not sure. I hadn't looked at it a whole lot. I don't get. I'll look at it a little bit later. But hey, but we definitely will look at it when the time comes. That's for sure.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah, David Barnes got a question for you.
All right.
Coach Morris, Coach Haddox called me a while ago. Want to know if you're looking for a snake in the grass. And the thing I'm looking for tonight is seeing your daddy. Are you ready?
I know you better than that, Dave. You're not going to run that snake in the grass like him. Coach Haddox does. No, I know better than that. But now that you said that, I'm going to tell our guys to look for that. Okay, tell our corner over to look for that.
Yeah.
See, I've been nice. I've been real nice. I went out there last night and shined up that. That same toilet out there, so you can use the restroom.
I was going to ask you if you got that. You got that dressing room clean for him tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I cleaned his toilet. He told me a couple of years ago, he come down and said, I think that's the same toilet that I used back in 1973 when I played, or whatever year it was.
I bet you had to replace that garbage can, though, didn't you?
You had to replace that can. Richie kicked
Richie's the one that kicked that can over.
He broke the door down, didn't he? He broke it down. Our kids ran out there, and when we came back in, half of them jumped in that can.
Well, Joe, we sure appreciate you. Yeah, we've had some great times. We appreciate you calling in this morning and take the time to talk to us. And we want to wish you the best of luck after tonight, the rest of the year, and we want to see you in Lexington as well, playing for a state final. And, of course, starting next year, we look forward to you being in the district, I guess, again. Yeah. And that'll be bringing back a lot of old memories as well. We've got Murray and Fort Campbell and Mayfield and Ballard, I believe, is going to all be in the same district next year. So
I don't know if forward is a good word. I don't know if that's
we're looking forward or backward, yeah. Well, Joe, we appreciate you calling in, and once again, thanks for your time and best of luck.
All right, thank you.
We're going to take another short break, and we'll be right back on the Gator and DT Show.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
What does your morning sound like?
The itsy bitsy spider. Rock-a-bye, baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
These showers should move out of the forecast by about 1 o'clock this afternoon, with a high today near 53. There's a 30% chance of showers overnight, with overnight lows around 44. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy, high near 58. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low around 54. The forecast again today is calling for showers until about 1 o'clock and a high near 53.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
What does your morning sound like?
The itsy bitsy spider. Rock-a-bye, baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Start saving now for 2019 with a Fredonia Valley Bank Christmas Club account. It's easy to save with auto deduction each week from your account or receive a coupon book for weekly payments. Multiple accounts may be opened, but not to exceed $5,000 per year. Choose your convenient payment method today. You may find it handy having extra cash for the holidays or an easy way to save or pay end-of-year expenses. Interest will be added to your Christmas Club as long as all 50 payments are made before the ending due date next year. Fredonia Valley Bank, a real community bank at 602 Cassidy in Fredonia or 226 Commerce Street in Eddyville. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
It's here now. The all-new 2019 Silverado from Chevrolet with the steely-eyed front end that will surely grab your attention. Space, comfort, and convenience all found in its accommodating interior with built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi makes communicating simple. The new Silverado is mostly steel, unlike Ford, who went with aluminum for better fuel mileage. The Silverado gets you 22 mpg on highway and a stronger truck. The all-new Chevrolet Silverado will still be the most dependable, longest-lasting truck you will ever own. Tri-Hughes Incorporated, Highway 91, Princeton.
Back here at the DT and Gator show on WPKY 103.3 FM. We've got another guest here lined up for us, I think. Do we not, Misty? Okay. Well, we'll talk a little bit why maybe he'll call right back. Coach?
He doesn't have the, I mean, he doesn't hear us, does he?
No,
He's
he
too far
can't.
away.
He can't hear us. But we possibly got Mitch Stewart lined up, the head coach at Murray State University. And of course, they're just off to a terrific start in the OVC. They opened the season, I think, with 3 straight losses against, again, some quality opponents. Played the University of Kentucky earlier in the season and made a decent, game out of it there for a while, and they've just opened up this OVC and they're 4-0 right now.
That's unbelievable to me. I mean, I've watched them and I watched their scores and kind of expected them not to be playing as well as they are, but I don't know how good the OVC is this year or any of that, but they seem to be, in the top running for. They got the big game Saturday, don't they?
They got the big game tomorrow afternoon. I believe it's 3 p.m. homecoming. against Jacksonville State, who has pretty much dominated the OVC the last several years, and they're always in the one AA playoffs. And I believe that's him calling back in, if we can get Misty to answer. But they've just played some outstanding football so far for us.
Anyway,
well, go ahead.
Phone ringing.
It's kind of we're having a little confusion this morning, but that's okay. We'll get through it and coach.
Well, another thing I was going to say too to Joe, and I didn't get to. He made the comment that some of his kids might be going to a smaller school or this or that or the other, but some of those schools aren't that small. I mean, Murray State back in the day was big time, and so was Western. Of course, they're small. They're bigger now than they were when I went, luckily. But I did, it's like I say, you got the OVC schools, in my opinion, that was a great league.
It was, and of course, when we played, Murray, Western was a big rivalry. You had an EKU, of course, we didn't talk very much at all about Murray's win at Eastern last weekend. And, I mean, they went up there and put a pretty good pounding on a pretty good Eastern Kentucky University team. And anytime you go into their place and win, that's a feather in your cap. That was always our toughest game to have to go up there. And then when they came, of course, our stands on that one side were always full. We had to play at 1 o'clock because we didn't have any lights. Exactly.
But we did always have pretty much 19,000 people.
Right.
And but anyway, OVC, I hated to get out of it. I hated to get out of the OVC, and of course now they're making money, and I'm sure it's a better deal. And of course the field is so much nicer, and the school is so much bigger. I got lost when you go down there now. I know. Of course, we can go back and talk a little bit about our alma mater. I know last weekend you went to WKU and spent the weekend and watched the Hilltoppers play, and they had one of your former teams that you were teammates with most of them. And tell us a little bit about that. Well, I was teammates. I was a freshman when they were juniors. So really it was a 68 team, and I was still in high school. But when I went as a freshman in 70, they were still there, a lot of them. Right. And, of course, Romeo Cornell was on that team. Yeah, and Johnny Vance, Jay Davis, Johnny Jaggers, Craig Clayton. Richie Hughes' picture is even in the photo. He went out as a freshman and then didn't stay. And then Walt Heath, who we coached against Walt Heath for a long time. At Fort Franklin Simpson. And matter of fact, he was a pretty good player, they said, very good player. But, our Hilltoppers have fallen on hard times. I mean, we've lost, I think, 4 games within inside of a minute to go, and did again last week. Unreal. They're not very happy with them down there. Well, I know the old boy that played quarterback with me, Leo Peckinpah, he's the color man on the radio, and he was kind of giving them down the road, and he doesn't usually do that. But I guess when you got that many people down there supporting them, and you want to do the best you can. Of course, and I think they made one of the top 10 highlights on ESPN last Saturday night when the young man attempted the field goal, and Old Dominion ran it all the way back to about the 30, I believe, and he then got a late hit. We had a late hit out of bounds with no time left on the clock, so they had one untimed down, and they kicked the field goal to beat Western in regulation. We were in the car on the way home after that, and I just couldn't believe it. I didn't know. We were picking up the station all the way to Todd County, and then after that we lost it. Yeah. We got home, got to looking on my phone, and they got beat. So anyway. Well, and we also, while we're talking about college football, the University of Kentucky, won a close game last week against Vanderbilt, which Vanderbilt always plays Kentucky close, and doesn't matter where you play them at. And they came away with a big win. And, of course, this weekend, tomorrow, they play at Missouri in a key conference matchup as well. Right. And Missouri, last week when I watched them, they're pretty good. They have their quarterback is very good. Their defense is pretty strong. So they ought to have a decent ball game. Yeah, they've got, of course, Drew Lock, I believe, is the quarterback, and they're projecting him as one of the, top ones to be in the draft this coming year.
So I believe we got Coach Mitch Stewart on now. Coach?
I'm here, brother.
We've had some technical difficulties, and we apologize on that behalf, but we've been sitting here. I know you probably haven't been able to hear us, but DT and I have been talking about
You're lucky, Mitch. You couldn't hear it.
Not about your golf game, but about the Murray State Racers and the terrific start in the OVC that you've gotten off to. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. As you guys well know, I haven't taken a snap. It's all these players, all these boys. Man, they've done an incredible job and worked awfully hard, and I'm super blessed to be a part of what they're doing, man. I really am. It's been a unique couple of weeks around here, seeing the way that these guys have bought into one another and believe in one another and play with one another. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, you've done a masterful job, and, you know, we were talking before we came on the air, Mitch, about you almost lost your entire staff from last year. They either moved on or, you know, took other jobs, and you had to hire a new staff. With the exception, I believe, Jake Johnson was probably one of your holdovers, and you promoted him to the defensive coordinator position. And for you to, you know, bring that staff in together, and of course you're bringing in a lot of new players and all. And tell us how all that's come together.
Yes, I had to replace 7 staff members in all. I was very happy for all those guys. You know, we had guys that left go to Southern Miss, and James Madison, and then 2 other coaches that just left to go make money. You don't get in this business, especially at this level, to make money, and they had opportunities to go make some more money, and we're young guys, so it was hard to fault them for that. But had to hire 7 new coaches, and then I think we wound up having a pretty big signing. I think what did we sign? 36 kids, something like that. So there was a lot of turnover, but you know, the best thing, especially with the staff, biggest thing with staff was it's really been kind of a breath of fresh air for me, because I brought in guys. Anytime you bring in new guys, you know, they don't really care about the past and what has been, because they weren't around for it. They don't know about it. So it's not really, you know, you get out of the last year. They have no preconceived notions on who the good players are, who the bad players are, all of those. They just come in and they take everything for face value. They look at each and every kid and they evaluate them from a special team standpoint, an offensive standpoint, a defensive standpoint, for what they see right then and there, because they weren't around in the previous year, and it's really been good for me, because they brought in just kind of this I don't know what you would call it, kind of this positive vibe about them, you know, and we've got some guys who've been coaching for a little while on staff, and then we've got some guys who are fresh out, you know, and I really enjoy them. They all coach with kind of a chip on their shoulder, and they like these kids. They like the players, man. They love them to death. They do a lot for them, and they take care of them. They try to put them in the best situations possible. They coach them hard, and they have a lot of fun with these players. You know, they just do a nice job of getting these players over here to the building and making sure that they don't dread coming over here. You know, whether it's something funny they do in a meeting or out there on the field or whatever the case may be. It's really been good for me, because it's kind of given me a chance to sit back and realize, man, we've all got it pretty good. We've all got it pretty good, and we've got good players and good kids, and, you know, good young people that want to do things right. They screw up all the time, but they want to do things right, and it's really been fun to be around it.
Well, Coach, I know last week you went down to EKU, and, you know, to go into that place and beat them the way that you beat them, that's got to be, you know, a feather in your cap and the Murray State Racers, because that's no easy place to win at. And tell us how you did that.
Yeah, no, it's not an easy place to win at. And we went down there during their homecoming. They've got a lot of good players, man. When they took the field, it was, you know, they looked the part now, and they play very hard. We didn't get off to the best start. We come out, I think we had 7 plays in the first quarter, 21 plays in the first half. And so it was very, very tough to get in the rhythm offensively. We couldn't stay on the field and couldn't get them off of it. But somehow or another, we find a way to go into halftime with a lead. And defensively, we played tremendously. They didn't score a touchdown. Coach Johnson, the defensive staff, and the defensive players held those guys to 2 field goals. That's all they had the whole night, was 2 field goals. And then in the second half, our offense was able to convert some third down, stay on the field, make some big plays. And just like I said, just kind of grind it out. It was one of those gritty kind of games where nothing was really going to come easy for you on offense. Defensively, we made some big-time plays and some big-time moments. Quincy Williams had another 80-plus yard return, almost for a touchdown. He's a little mad because he got hawked on the 1-yard line. And the type of competitor he is, everybody's fired up. He intercepts the ball, runs it back for 80 yards, he's tackled on the 1. Everybody's hitting him, patting him on the back. When he gets to the sideline, he looks at me and goes, "Damn, man, I should have scored." And so I've told him we'll have to put him in at running back or something, let him get that touchdown back for him. But it was a lot of fun. Like you said, anytime we can go over there, that's a horseshoe game for us. We'll put that game on the wall. We've got a little big win wall that we do, or not a little, a big win wall that we do. And we have these horseshoes up there. Anytime we're able to beat those guys, that's a horseshoe game. It's a state championship game for us. So it was a lot of fun to bring that horseshoe back with us.
Well, Mitch, this DT, you've got a lot of fan base here in Princeton. There's a lot of people that really like to keep up with Murray and go to Murray. But we appreciate all you've done for them and all. Some of the kids that come down there and work to be on the team, we appreciate what you can try to do for them. And I know they like to go down there because it's close to home. A lot of them want to go there. But we thank you, and we appreciate when y'all used to come down here. We missed you this summer.
We missed it, yeah. We didn't get to play golf together like that. Of course, you was going through that transition of hiring coaches and all, and I think Brent Ladd's got a group coming tomorrow to watch you play, and of course we hadn't talked about it, but you got a big game tomorrow, a homecoming game against Jacksonville State, and of course they've probably been the most dominant team in the OVC the last several years. Tell us a little bit about Jacksonville State.
Yeah, well, first of all, I love going over there and spending time with you guys. It's always a lot of fun. We've had some big times together, and I appreciate you guys and everything that just the support that you guys have always shown for us. And I hated not being able to get over there and play golf, but like you said, when Ladd would have asked me for the names and who was coming, I don't know if I could have told him at the time. I didn't know who would have been coming and who would have been leaving and all of that kind of stuff. So, but I'm excited to get this crew of guys I got over there and let you guys meet them and hang out with these guys, because they're a bunch of good dudes, and y'all will like them. But I got Ladd sent me a text the other day. I'm trying to get him over here, and he wants to come. I think he's got a crew with him that's going to come over for the game, so that'll be a lot of fun getting to see him. And because we've got a big one, like you said, we've got Jacksonville State, and they have been the team in this conference for an awfully long time. Got a lot of good players. Coach Gross does a tremendous job over there. They do a really, really nice job coaching those guys up. Very sound in everything they do in all 3 phases of the game. And they've just got really good players. Offensively, they can run the ball on you, do some different things in the run game. They've got a quarterback. It's kind of a 2-quarterback system, one of which is a transfer from Clemson, and he's a big, pretty youngin' now. When he takes the field, everybody will be oohing and ahhing. He can run around a little bit, create some problems there. And then defensively, they've always been tough defensively. I think they're one of the top 5 defenses in the country right now in total defense. Big up front and long on the back end. And so we'll have our hands full, man. And they played SEMO, Southeast Missouri, last week. and turned the ball over 5 times. Kind of very uncharacteristic of a Jacksonville State team, and SEMO was able to beat them. And so not only are we getting the best team in the conference, we're getting them after a loss, so they'll be good pissed off to come in here, especially on our homecoming. So it's quite an opportunity that we have. And our kids have been very, very, I tell you, man, a week of practice has been tremendous. Wednesday's kind of our full pad day. We call it racer gear. And we went out in full pads. We got after it, had 1 or 2 fights out there at practice. Be in week 9 and still have that kind of spunk about you. It makes you feel good as a coach. I was kind of smiling. Once we figured out nobody broke their hand or anything like that fighting, then I kind of smiled. I said, hey, man, we're getting after it. So it's been a good week of practice. We're going to finish it up today and kind of put a bow on all of our preparations, and we'll be good to go.
Well, Coach, we sure do want to wish you the best of luck, and I know, I believe several people, I know my daughter talked about coming over to the homecoming parade. You got homecoming this weekend, and I know a lot of former graduates like to go to the parade and take their young kids with them and see all the floats and all of that, but I'm sure you're concerned about getting your racers ready for the game. But 3 p.m. kickoff, and we want to encourage as many people that can make it over there to come and support the Murray State Racers.
Yeah, it ought to be a big crowd. And, we'll do, like I said, 3 o'clock kickoff, with homecoming. It's been cool for us because we've had a lot of former players come back. Yesterday we were in staff meeting, and Katie Humphreys and Jordan Gandy showed up, and even Roman Clay showed up, and we got a bunch of guys coming back, so that's always fun. I think they're honoring all of the 8s, so any team that ended in 8s, so I think it's like 2008, 98, 88, those type deals. We're honoring those teams back for homecoming, and we'll do a racer walk at 12:30. So the band, the cheerleaders, and our team will walk from the Sid Easley Alumni Building up at the top of the parking lot down into the stadium. So that's always fun for the boys to kind of get to walk through all of the tailgaters in Tent City. We've got Tent City going on inside the state, which is my favorite week when we do this because we're the only team in the country that tailgates inside their stadium when we do that. So we've got a bunch of recruits that'll be here on campus to watch the game, see Tent City, and it should be a big time environment for anybody who needs something to do on a Saturday.
Coach Stewart, Coach Barnes.
Coach Barnes, how are you?
Doing good. I just want to wish you.
Got a big one tonight.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be a tough one, but hopefully we'll come out of it with a win. I just want to wish you luck tomorrow. I'm proud of what you've done down there, and tell Coach Hamilton if he gets that offensive line ready, y'all put up some points. It's all on him.
I'll tell him. I'll put it all on him. I have no problem doing that. I appreciate it, Coach Barnes. Always good to talk to you and hear from you. I hope everything's going well over there with you.
Doing good. Wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Griff, and we want to wish you best of luck at the bar and taking time out to talk to us. We're going to take another short break, and we'll be back to end up things on the DT and Gator Show.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Tuesday nights at 6 Central, you can talk to the head coach of your Tennessee Titans on the Mike Vrabel Show, presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans. Got a question for the coach? You can connect by phone or ask a question via Twitter at Titans Radio. Your direct connection to the coach each Tuesday night on the Mike Vrabel Show, exclusively on Titans Radio. 106.5 WKDZ.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
These showers should move out of the forecast by about 1 o'clock this afternoon, with a high today near 53. There's a 30% chance of showers overnight, with overnight lows around 44. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy, high near 58. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low around 54. The forecast again today is calling for showers until about 1 o'clock and a high near 53.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza.
We're back on the DT and Gator show. We're going to wrap things up here, Dennis, but Coach Barnes, there was one point I wanted to bring out. I noticed yesterday you had 2 players selected for the Best of the Bluegrass All-Star game, which will be played in December. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, Coach Morse, his running back, that's what he was talking about there a while ago, that his running back got selected for that same team. And, Trell Riley and Jameer Riley both got picked on that team, which is, to get 2 players is really good. And we've been fortunate the last few years to have quite a few of our players playing that, and have been very successful. So it's a tribute to them and our team that they got on there.
I believe it's going to be played December the 9th, which is a Sunday at 2 p.m. at Elizabethtown High School.
Yeah, it got moved from St. X last year. I coached it, and Joe Morris and Wayne and Will, we were all up there, and they moved to D-Town, which is really good. E-Town's got that turf field there, and Jimmy Reed does it, and he and Ricky Wood do a great job of putting that on and really take care of those kids. It's a big 3 days for those kids, and good experience for them.
Ricky Wood.
Yeah.
Remember Ricky Wood?
Oh, Ricky, yeah. And,
Edmondson County boy.
Edmondson, and, we might
He was at
try.
Warren Central, too.
Yes. And, of course, the last time we played Edmondson County, Ricky Wood was the head coach.
Yeah, I know it.
And, brought his team over here. We played them actually 2 years here in Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, one year ahead West Vincent.
96, and he ran all over us. I think he had nearly 300 yards of rushing against us. And
counter boot.
Yeah, and we never could get the ball. I remember they kept the ball all night, and they run counter tray and counter boot.
You got them back in 98, though.
Yeah, well, we did. We got.
Yeah, that was football back then, David. Don't you bring it up. But y'all playing tennis now.
Speaking of Emerson, that's who we will be talking about next Friday on the show. And, Emerson County starts the playoff run for us. And, of course, we don't want to overlook tonight's game by no means. But I know, Coach, you're looking forward to it. And what's it going to take for us to go down there to beat Mayfield?
We got to go down there and play like we played against Tillman, real physical, and, hopefully create some turnovers and make some big plays and just, play football. And, if we play like we did against Fort Campbell, we're going to get beat. Even though we beat Fort Campbell the way we did, we can't play like that against Mayfield. And, it's going to be a good night to play, and looking forward to it and looking forward to the playoffs. Before we go off, I would like to mention Scott Willard. Scott Willard was a coach at Webster County with Eric Hogg back a few years ago, and Scott got sick and has been diagnosed with West Nile virus, and he's in the hospital in Lexington. He's a head baseball coach at Scott County and an assistant coach there at Scott County, and so he's fighting a battle now with West Nile virus. And Eric Hogg, if you remember, was at Webster County, passed away at age 35 of a heart attack. His son was 15 months old when he passed away. We'll be playing tonight at Henderson. It's senior night for him, and Kevin Patton had a really nice article in the Henderson paper yesterday on Eric and his son and what all has happened since that went down. And Scott Willard took over for Eric and ended up 12-2 at Webster. That's the last time I guess they've had a record like that in some time.
I remember Eric well. We, played golf together some, and of course it was just a terrible tragedy when it occurred. It happened on project graduation night. Yeah. And he was wrestling, with, I think, Jello wrestling or doing something. And I remember the next morning Regina Catlett calling and telling me that Eric had passed that night. And, of course, Scott Willard was a very close friend of his, and our thoughts and prayers go out to their families as well.
Yeah.
We talked about Ricky Woods a while ago. If we're all pretty country around here. But if we get old Ricky on the phone for these people to hear, they'll think they're.
I'll work on trying to get Ricky next week. Ricky would be he'd be a good guest, good call-in guest, and he still lives right on the
Smiths
Emerson
Grove.
County border.
There, Smiths Grove.
Yeah, right there at Smiths Grove, and you know, he's been out of coaching, but he's still involved with Jimmy Reed.
Yes.
In the All-Star game.
He
so.
was down there with one of your buddies, old Fayo Riggs.
Yeah, he's a good old Tompkinsville boy.
That's right.
Royce Hood, and Joe, and he grew up with all those, and you know, we'll try to maybe get him on next week to give us some input on the Edmonson County Wildcats. Well, that about does us, D.
Did it again.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
Tuesday.